Volkswagen says in 2023, its electric cars will be at price parity with its gasoline or petrol powered cars. Are they telling the truth? I mean, this is coming from the company who were the instigators of the greatest cover-up and scandal in the history of the automotive industry. For that reason, it's worth actually questioning what they claim. Volkswagen have claimed that its new ID4 and ID5 electric cars will hit parity with the price of a gasoline or petrol powered car within the next few months. Is this actually true? Well, let's have a look at what they're claiming. Let's see if the facts verify this and if this is actually true. Because if it is, my friends, I would be stoked. But I've got my doubts. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name's Sam Evans. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Great to have all these new subscribers helping the algorithms and you guys tuning into the channel to watch the videos we're making. I really do appreciate your support. It's amazing. So it's another amazing day on planet Earth. Wow, are we lucky to be alive? Yes, for me, the last week, it's been a balls of a week. Goodness me, it seems like everything has gone wrong. But the truth is, hey, I live in the West in Australia. I was born here. Yeah, things can go wrong, but the reality is we're actually all incredibly lucky. If you're watching this channel right now, that means you have something that no one had, 20 years ago? YouTube, a computer with good access to the internet. That is a huge blessing. So, eventually it is true that electric cars will be on parity with gasoline cars for the purchase price. Now, of course, it's cheaper in the long run to buy an EV, even though they cost more in the West. In China, they don't cost more. That's the truth. They don't. I mean, for example, some of the biggest electric vehicle companies in China sell EVs for less money than what you see comparable gasoline-powered vehicles. That's very common. In the West, though, we're not quite there yet. But Volkswagen is saying we are. In fact, Volkswagen is saying they are. They're about to sell electric cars in Australia finally. They're saying that those cars will be on parity with gasoline-powered cars, already on sale. And the driven.io, which is a good website for the most part, have made some interesting claims. I don't know that they back up when actually verified. That's what I want to do here. Let's verify them. Let's actually work out if Volkswagen is telling the truth or are they telling us a fabricated fictional picture that we'd like to believe. Volkswagen says when its EVs, the ID4 and ID5, are released in Australia, in 2023, they'll be at the same price as its gasoline-powered cars. So, the model that has been chosen to compare to this car is the Volkswagen Tiguan. To be fair, the Tiguan is around about 5% bigger than the ID4, but hey, that's not enough of a difference to really matter, so who cares? So let's just compare it for comparison's sake, like the Driven did against the Volkswagen Tiguan. The Driven.io says this: the most interesting part of the news is that price parity will arrive for both the ID4, which won a World Car of the Year award for 2021, and the ID5, which is essentially the same vehicle but with a coupe styling at the rear. They say this: the devil will be in the detail, of course, and we will find out if this is true when we see the final inclusions and decisions on the specifications of the models that will be on offer in Australia, as they will change from those on offer in Europe and the UK. Broadly, they will be around the same as the broadly similar fossil fuel Tiguan range and will cost from 62 to 85,000 Australian dollars, depending on the model and the specifications. Here's what Volkswagen actually said, which is a bit different from what they're claiming. The ID4 will bring electric performance to a broad customer base with target pricing similar to our most in-demand SUV, the Tiguan 162 TSI R-Line. If this is true, this is a huge development. This really would be the first time in Volkswagen's history where it would be pricing its electric cars on direct parity with its gasoline-powered cars. So the price there, they've said, is 62,000 to 84,000 Australian dollars. For you guys in the US, that's around about 40,000 US dollars to 50,000 US dollars, depending on the model. Do the prices stack up to their claims? Well, not really, no. The reason being, the cheapest ID4 they plan on selling will be more than 60,000 Australian dollars, which I think is still going to be a decent price for what will be probably a pretty good car. Very heavy car, but a pretty good car nonetheless. However, the base model price for the Tiguan is 41,000. Now, obviously, the base model we're going to see of the ID4 will be a single motor variant. It'll be the cheapest model because the most expensive model we're going to see is going to cost $84,000 or $22,000 more. So, $62,000 is not $42,000. That's a huge difference. In fact, that's a difference of about 33%, right? Is that really on parity? Well, obviously it depends on the specs. Sure, the base model we see in the ID4 could have some pretty good specs, but then why would you pay an extra $22,000 for a model with pretty good specs if that's true? Clearly, they've got to leave some gap here in order to charge you an extra $22,000 for the high-end model. So what's the price of the high-end Tiguan? Well, the 162 TSI R line costs $59,000. That's Australian dollars, of course. The all-space 162 TSI Wolfsburg edition costs $59,990, and the R Grid edition costs $63,990. So in other words, the R Grid edition, the absolute most expensive Volkswagen Tiguan you can buy, period, anywhere in the world, in fact, is the same price as the base model ID4. Is that on parity pricing? No, clearly not, right? Does that mean, though, that you should buy the ID4 over the Tiguan? Absolutely, I would buy it over the Tiguan. Why? Because the Tiguan's a petrol-powered car, right? In the long run, you're going to save a lot of money by buying that electric version for a various host of reasons, aside from the actual resale value, which should be significantly better on an electric car. So this is not me telling you buy the Tiguan. Absolutely not. I would be waiting for that ID4 for sure if it was my money. Better yet, I'd probably be buying a Tesla Model Y. But that said, the ID4 is a good car as well. However, there's actually a bigger problem than the price. The price, it's, I think, not bad. The bigger problem is the number of these that Volkswagen say they're going to actually deliver. They say in the first 12 months, we'll get a whole big 3,000 cars. 3,000 for 12 months. I mean, realistically, that is a pittance. And Volkswagen says that that number actually depends upon demand. Now, obviously, Volkswagen must know they could easily sell a lot more of them here in Australia than that. And given the increased interest in electric cars in Australia, look how many Tesla are selling. They have waiting lists that are months and months and months long. But Volkswagen does now accept that the EV market is at a tipping point in Australia. So there's clearly going to be a huge amount of demand for these cars. So that begs the question, why is Volkswagen only going to send 3,000? Well, I suspect that's because they don't currently make a profit on the cars and because they don't want to pay any more money to Tesla. What I mean by that? Well, Volkswagen does have to pay a fair bit of money in terms of buying carbon credits in order to avoid paying fines in Europe, and it does in China as well. So what are the two ID4 models that we'll be getting here? Well, it looks as though we could be getting the Pro Performance model. That is a model with an 82 kilowatt hour battery pack and a 522 kilometer range. And there's also a Pure Performance model, which is a cheaper, much cheaper model that comes with a 55 kilowatt hour battery and a range of 345 kilometers. Now I'm guessing that would be the base model for, say, $62,000. Both the ID4 and the ID5 are produced at Volkswagen's dedicated modular battery electric vehicle architecture, known as MEB, but they're made in Germany. The MEB architecture actually allows the designers of the car and its engineers to minimize front and rear overhangs of the vehicle. This means they can maximize the interior space. So even though the Volkswagen Tiguan is a bit bigger on the outside, it's actually not bigger on the inside. In fact, it's very similar in size to the Tiguan on the inside. And it's also a lower car. The center of gravity is distributed evenly, and the handling, therefore, versus a Tiguan would be heaps better. That's one thing you can definitely look forward to if you buy the ID4. Now, in terms of charging, the charging speed of the ID4 is 125 kilowatt compared to comparable Tesla base models, which is about 170 kilowatt, and of course the higher end models, which is 250 kilowatt. And it will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.5 seconds. So it is one of the slower electric cars. So will we see electric cars on price parity in terms of initial purchase price with gasoline-powered cars anytime soon, like we're seeing in China. Well, we already are. It's just not with Volkswagens. It's with BYD. In fact, the BYD I ordered actually does cost about the same as a Volkswagen Tiguan. But it's not a Volkswagen. It's a Chinese electric car. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Bye-bye.